If you're a coach that wants to be able to grow faster, reliably and predictably be able to get new clients every day, every week, every month, and you want to grow to $100,000 to $300,000 a month, I'm going to walk you through the exact system that I'm using in my businesses, my portfolio business, and the coaches that we are being able to scale to $100,000 to $300,000 a month. Now, I'm only able to share this because I don't make the vast majority of my money actually teaching this stuff. I actually grow businesses, and this is the stuff that I'm literally working every day. When I'm behind the scenes actually doing this stuff, I'm being able to know what's working because I have the data behind it, because I'm behind so many of the businesses that are using this stuff, and I can share this to you. Because for myself, I've sold a multi-7-figure coaching company. I've then been behind the scenes of 6, 7, 8, and 9-figure info businesses. I've been paid up to $25,000 a month as a CRO, and I've scaled my own offers to one being up to $1 million run rate in 63 days. Another, I got to $200,000 a month in under 90 days. And now we're being able to help coaches be able to install these exact systems as well. And because I want you to understand that this is really about you not needing to produce more content. It's not about you being able to do a new lead magnet or getting a new challenge, or even it's a new funnel. It is a predictable, reliable system. This is what we call the Rainmakers growth operating system. And I'm going to walk you through this because at the end of this training, I want you to understand what's missing, what's broken, and what's the next thing that you need to do. And most importantly, what is it that you need to do to actually install this system inside of your business, so you're not having to watch more YouTube videos, you're not having to listen to more podcasts, you're not having to join courses or masterminds or any of that stuff. You can just wake up every day, make sure these systems are installed. You can do it under a few hours a day, and then actually enjoy your life. Because I've had some good successes. Yes, I've been paid some really good money helping info businesses grow. I've built and sold my own stuff, but I've also screwed up as well, massively. Not that long ago, I had to burn a $3+ million business down, not because it wasn't working. It was working, but because it was built under the complete wrong model, and it wasn't what I wanted at the end of the day as well. Now I've got a complete Substack article showing an exact breakdown of that, and I'll pop that in the description below for you. But what I really want to get to in this is for you to understand a couple of key things. First one's going to be that most funnels don't fail because of a lack of design, or even a lack of copy, or even a lack of an offer. They fail because they are not getting the emotional buy. They're not getting the belief. They're not building the trust. Trust is the currency that we need to be able to engineer at scale. And that is what I'm going to be showing you through these playbooks for you to be able to install. And the other thing as well is when it comes down to so many people, it's not about you not making enough money or getting enough clients, because if you're doing sales calls or selling through a Google offer doc or any of that kind of stuff, that's a childish and immature argument to be had right now. It's about building the business that's for you, the way that you want to run your business. So for the few hours a day that you are sitting here doing your business, you're enjoying it. And you can actually enjoy the rest of your life and not stress out the entire time as well. Because I don't want you to think that you have to be on a content hamster wheel to be able to make this work. It's about a small few pieces of content that's specifically done to be able to answer the objections, build trust, and put the right people into the sales process so that they are ready to buy as they go through that. And that's what I want you to be able to install, because at the root cause of everything right now, trust isn't baked into the system that I see most people actually trying to build right now. And when clients come on board, the very first thing that we do is I have the strategy call to make sure everything is actually perfectly put together for them. And 9 times out of 10, it is a case of there is just a few lacking pieces. It's what I call a Swiss cheese model. Is there's just a couple of holes we just need to be able to plug them. Once you plug them, this stuff is actually working, because I know you being here with me, even just a couple of minutes in, you're a smart cookie. You're working hard, and you just need to be able to make a couple of key changes, because most likely the stuff that you have been working hard on, it's old, it's outdated, and it simply ain't working. So let's actually get to the stuff that is working at the end of the day for you. So this entire system is built around what we call the 10K a day trust system. And it's really just got a couple of factors that I want you to be able to have inside of your business. Number one, I want you to be able to earn up to $10,000 a day consistently. So that's why we talk about scaling your business to $100,000 to $300,000 a month, every month. I want you to have a 24/7 sales system. So you're able to make sales, whether you're picking the kids up from school, whether you're going to the beach, whether you're sleeping, you are able to make sales on front end and back end 24/7. And the other key part of it is you doing the work that you absolutely love. Because I truly believe now, look, why I burnt that last business down is because after I sold my first company, I had the bright idea. It wasn't a very bright idea, but I had the idea. I wanted to build my next company. I wanted a $50 million sale this time. It was purely ego and it was bullshit to myself. What I actually want is a peaceful, profitable business. I don't enjoy the work for a few hours a day and I'll enjoy the rest of my day. And I want my business to be able to fuel that life. And if you want that, then this is for you. But if you want to build a massive empire, take over the industries, I'm not your guy. And I think you should absolutely click off this video right now. But this is really going to be about a process for you to be able to quickly scale, quickly grow your business, quickly actually fix the problems that you've got right now. And a great example of that was a coach came to us and we've been able to add $318,000 of sales to this coach just within 30 days. Now, is every client that sign on with us going to be able to do that? No, absolutely not. This guy was a switched on operator. He had all of the pieces there. It was kind of like that Swiss cheese problem I've talked to before. He just had some holes. He didn't have some key systems and playbooks in place. And when we installed that, when we put that trust engine together, you are able to get leads into your sales process 80% sold. So by the time they get to a sales page, by the time they get to a sales call, by the time they get to a Google offer doc, any of that stuff that you're actually using, they're practically sold. And that's the process that we want to be able to have. So let's walk through this system together right now. So the understanding is that I want you to be able to have a business that gives you the money that you want at the end of the day. I want you to have the meaning. So you actually enjoy the work that you're doing. You find satisfaction from what it is you're doing, helping the people that you want to be able to help as your clients. And importantly, you want to be able to have the freedom in your business and out of your business so you can go and do and live life on your own terms. So every decision that we make, whether it's a case of how you're going to sell, what are the price points, what are the funnels, everything has to check these 3 boxes to make sure that they are actually going to work. Now, that's pretty basic in place. But to make that happen, that's when we need to be able to get the leads and we need to be able to attract the right type of people to you. And then we need to be able to put them into the actual sales process. That sales process has to be able to actually do the conversions. Now, side tangent, typically most coaches and consultants don't actually need more leads at the very start. They need a better conversion system. That's why we'll typically work on the conversion system first, because then we can crank up the leads. That's when we can turn that dial up and then know that if you are spending some money on ads, you're happy to, because you're able to actually go through the process. And actually, I'll show you an exact example of how these ad numbers break down. All right, so what I'm showing you right now is quite literally a breakdown from a coaching call that I had with a client this morning. And this was the sales pipeline breakdown. And I'll kind of like walk you through this, and there's some numbers in here, but look, for meathead like me to get this, you're going to be perfectly fine. So with this person, I was selling through sales calls. And what we did was they had 55 calls booked in the calendar for last month, and it cost them $125 for a booked call. Now, the way that the sales pipeline broke down, so they had 55 booked, then they had 33 show up, they had 23 then show to the strategy that qualified to the next step, 18 strategies then showed. From those 18 calls, they sold 12 new clients into it. So they spent in ads $6,868 and they did $78,000 of sales. Now, this is what's really important. We had 11.3 ROAS, which means they spend $1 and they're going to get $11.3 back out. But importantly, what we knew was, and this is what I want you to be able to understand, is their client LTV was $6,500. Okay. So for every sale that we made, we had a cost per sale of $572. So we spent $572 to make a sale that on average is going to be worth $6,500. That is what we call a money printing machine, and what I want you to be able to have, because when we break this down now for you in this sales process, and I'll walk you through it, that is when you can understand that you're able to scale happily and peacefully. You're not going to be spending ad money stressing, is this going to be actually getting me results? you're going to know it's going to get you results. So we get leads, we turn those leads, we convert them, we make sales. From those sales, we deliver a world-class experience to make sure that they're actually going to be getting the results that you've promised them at the end of the day. So let's break this down into the leads. There's 3 really important factors when it comes to leads for you to be able to. Number 1 is you need to be able to have what we call an irresistible offer. Now, there's actually technically 4 offers inside of an irresistible offer, and that'll be in a training just by itself. But the question that you just have to answer right now is actually going to be, are you able to craft a clear, irresistible offer that talks to your ideal client, that gets them to go, oh my God, that's for me. That's the response that you're looking for at the end of the day. And so once we have the offer in place, then we want to be able to have the process of actually being able to drive traffic at scale, which means we use ads and organic. I'm not the person that's just going to be saying you should just be doing ads, or no, it's all about organic. Again, that's a childish and immature conversation we have. We want to be able to have traffic from both, but in typical circumstances, we have tons of clients coming to us. They have tiny, itty bitty followings, and that's amazing because we're able to use ads to put the right message in front of the right person to be able to put them into the high converting sales process that gets them clients. So you don't need a big following whatsoever. So we have an offer, then we have the ability to drive traffic, which then really importantly gets them to be able to go into what we call the binge bank. This is something I don't hear other people talking about because the fact is right now that trust is the currency that we need to be able to focus on. So how do you engineer trust at scale? We use a binge bank, which technically, for the way that we do it with our clients, is 8 key pieces of content. It's only 8. I'm not talking about you having to shoot content every single day and publish hundreds of pieces every single month. That is not the case whatsoever. That's not the game that we need to be able to play. However, we are able to use a small amount of content and then be able to do it in a very specific way that is able to solve the objections, solve the obstructions that is stopping them from either, let's say, getting into your sales funnel to or actually buying from you in the first place. So that's where we use a binge bank to be able to go through this. Now, in the actual sales process, there are 3 things we want to focus on. The first one is we want to be able to have the right funnel in place. Now, typically, it's not just one funnel that we want to be able to use. There is going to be a couple of different avenues to be able to break that down. That's actually going to be in a complete training of the 10K a day trust engine that I'll actually have below in the description for you to be able to get access to, where I'll show you all of the actual 5 key funnels that we're able to use. Now, it's not about using all 5 of them. Typically, you're only going to want about 2 to 3. And then once you get beyond $100,000 a month, that's when we start adding on a couple of others and could potentially use all 5. But I'm not going to give a cookie cutter answer right now. You can click the link, get that training and go through it. But understanding in this video right now, we need to have the right funnel so that we can get a lead into a sales conversation. Sales conversation, again, does not have to be a sales call. It could be through a DM. It could be to a sales page. It could be a video, whatever. It could be throwing a note in a carrier in a pigeon's mouth and giving it that way. Whatever it is, what's the funnel in place? The next is going to actually be the closing mechanism. So are you able to actually have a high converting closing process? Because when we talk about getting all those leads in, you don't want to be paying money for ads and then not getting the sales on the other end, because this is where ad agencies suck, is because they're going to be looking at things that's really easy for them to get. We got tons of leads. Well, are they any good? And are they actually converting? That's what I care about. Because when we have the right funnel in place and it's actually with the right closing mechanism that's converting, then we just need to tap into what we call automations, which really is, are we using the right AI and automation process so that this is working by itself? Again, it's a 24/7 sales system for you to be able to not be a part of, and clients are signing on board. Because once we have that in place, then this is about the delivery side of it. So we've gotten leads, we've gotten sales. That's the sexy stuff. But, and this is something I've said before, I'm going to say plenty more times again, the easiest way to double your business is to halve your churn. I'm going to just say that one more time because it's really goddamn important. The easiest way to double your business is to halve your churn, which means you need to have the right delivery process in place. And so how do we do that? The first is we actually have the right delivery model. Now, what could one of the worst things happen for you in your business? It could be that you actually get things working. You start signing clients on, but then soon after you realize you just built yourself a prison because your model in which you deliver to your client has you stuck. If you ever take a day off, take a week off, take a month off, and it's completely relying on you, that's a prison. You need to be able to fix that. And do you actually enjoy the process of what it is that you do to help your customers and clients get results? So the model is really important and something we need to be able to solve. Next is what we call experience, which is what is the actual experience that your customers and clients are going to be going through. This is where we actually need it to be giving them what they need when they need it without overloading or overwhelming them and ensuring that they're going through the process to get the results. I'm not a believer that you should just sell something and say, well, they've got it and just hope that they go through it. Because when you look at the actual course finishing rate of the typical industry, it's terrible. And what I want is I want to be able to take responsibility as a coach and ensure my clients get great results. So what's the experience that I need to set up and actually have working for me to be able to get them the best results? Because once we have that in place, then we just need to have the right rhythm for the actual creation of it. So what is the rhythm of what you're needing to create? Not on a daily process, maybe a daily, if it's a case of like you give Slack access or there's a membership site in a community, you might be jumping in every day, well, hopefully not 7 days a week, but there's a rhythm of on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly scale of what are you doing to actually best give your clients what it is that they need to. And because when you have the right model with your right experience, with the right rhythm of what you're doing, guess what? You enjoy your business. You enjoy what you do. And this turns into a flywheel effect because you enjoy it, you do better work. The better work that you do, the better energy that you bring. The better energy you bring, the better results you get your clients. The better results you get your clients, the more referrals, the more people that start coming to you through word of mouth. And things just get better and better and better. And this is where I want you to be able to answer for yourself right now. Let's get rubber on the road. Let's make this really tactical and practical. Is, do you have an irresistible offer in place? Do you have a process to reliably bring in the right type of traffic into your funnels each day? Do you have a binge bank in place? Are you reliably and predictably actually growing trust at scale? Do you have the right funnel? Is it actually converting? Do you have the right automations and AI in place so the entire sales system is working without you? Do you have your delivery model in place where you are able to get your clients the experience and the results that you're promising? And are you being able to build it in a rhythm that you most enjoy? Because when you have these 9 playbooks in place, that is when you are going to love your business. That is when your clients are going to absolutely love you. And that is when you're going to start enjoying the entire process and loving your life. Now, this is where I would rather actually show you than tell you, because the most important part is how do you actually apply this? How do you know exactly how to install the right playbooks into your business? So you've seen how the Rainmakers operating system actually works, but how does it actually work inside of your business? The easiest way for us to be able to show you that is through what we call a one-on-one demo call. I'll pop a link below for you to be able to actually schedule your time for this, because worst case scenario, you actually see behind the scene, you see how the system works and how the system's going to work inside of your business. Best case scenario, we give you everything that you need and you're able to install it into your business and you get clients, grow your business, and it's happy days from there. So is it actually worth 15 minutes of your time to have a demo call? Hell yes, it is. But really importantly, it's about you understanding what is the few things that you actually need to be doing to be able to grow the business that you love to be able to run on a day-to-day level. That's what I want for you. And that's why I truly believe the next easiest, smartest next move for you to be able to make is click the link below and you know the drill, schedule time, have a one-on-one call with myself and my team so that we can show you how this is actually applied into your business, so that you are using the actual systems that we're using reliably in so many other different niches and offers, doing stuff just like what you're doing, so that you have the stuff that is best working now. That is what I want for you. And that is why I think is the easiest thing to do is actually just schedule a call and be able to see it work inside of your own business.